Y'all know I'm a big advocate. Whoa! I am not test driving this one. Do y'all hear that? Hold on. Good Lord. Okay, this suspension about to come apart. Alright, this is like a Jeep Compass, guys. Oh my goodness. Let me see something. Good Lord. That is loud. Okay. Let me hurry up and get in the shop. I have to inspect it. 150,000 miles. ABS light on. Traction control light on. Dang. Horrible suspension noise. You won't know what's wrong with it until you do a full suspension test or check. But from the sound of it, guys, it should be fairly obvious. Inspect the complete suspension system, all right? Even the rear. Inspect the whole complete suspension system, all right? Let's get it. All right, guys. We're gonna get this thing in the air and do a suspension test, okay? Well, me by myself, I have to do a visual, and I might have to go get a helper in order to move the suspension around to get a better, to get some better test results. One thing off the top, these tires are wore out, but that has nothing to do with the noise. Y'all see that? That's a CVT transmission, guys. Oh, those transmissions gave us problems when they first came out. Most of the noise was coming from the, whoa, look at that. Oh, okay. I guess I don't need a helper. I thought I was gonna need a helper to do 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So basically, guys, from the look of that, that is where most of the noise coming from. And of course, the strut is coming apart up there. I'm gonna zoom in up there so y'all can see that. That is not a good look. Okay, now, like I said earlier, I was unable to test drive this car because that noise was extremely excessive, and I don't want to get stranded on the road trying to duplicate a complaint. I actually duplicated the complaint, which is noise. Yeah, I hear the noise, but sometimes, you know how y'all know how I always advocate test driving the cars. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the brakes are worn out. Starting to grind into the rotors. Too late to, depending on the measurements, you should really measure the thickness of the rotor before you, but around here they always want us to just simply, rotors are inexpensive now, guys, so if you don't have access to a drum machine or a brake machine, it's fairly safe and easy to go ahead and inexpensive to go ahead and replace them, because keep in mind, even if you take your car to the shop, there's no additional labor for, in fact, it should be a decrease in labor. It all depends on how your shop operate, but the rotors have to come off anyway, so there shouldn't be an extra charge to replace rotors. You just merely taking a part off and putting on a new part. Okay, now notice, take a look at that engine mount right there. That's broke, that's cracked. Okay, there's another mount right here. If this one is worn out, this one is likely worn out. Okay, they carry the same amount of load, and I'm almost certain there's a upper transmission mount, which hardly get any work. So I don't think I've ever replaced one of the trans mounts on these. It's always the engine mounts. All right, and there's of course there's an upper mount up in this area. So mainly we always end up doing the 3 engine mounts, both lower and the upper side, but this is a problem. Okay, guys, now I don't know how aftermarket world work, but when we get a control arm, the OEM is going to come with a ball joint. Alright, so I don't know if you get one, say AutoZone, will it not come where you have to get an extra ball joint? I don't know, but if I was you, I would get one with the bushings already. A lot of guys take this off hammer out the old bushing and simply press in new bushings. Those days are dwindling down, guys. Because parts are complete now and they're a little inexpensive, so it's almost makes economical sense to go ahead and replace, just say, a lower control arm with the bushings already in it. Alright, so I'm gonna let it back down and look over the top end also, guys. Alright, so don't go anywhere. I'm gonna go to another break, and when I get back, we're gonna be on the top end. Alright, stay with me, don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Alright, guys, I have the car down on the ground now. I don't know if y'all seen that video I did where I showed you a quick hack, quick way to check struts, or as far as knocking noise goes. In fact, I'm gonna link that video right here. Y'all go check that video out. I simply grabbed a spring and was able to pull, and that was clunk, 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 clunk. That car beat me up. I did not, because the normal typical way of inspecting the front end did not reveal the source of the noise. So until I took it upon myself to do that, that was the only way I was able to find that noise, guys. So yes, I'll check that video out. Now let's see what's going on under the hood. Okay, most of his problems outside of the hood. As you can see, or as you saw, there was no check engine light. All right, why do we have his hood prop taped down? I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to be responsible for that. I don't want him. I just don't want to mess with something that a customer has rigged up. I don't want to unrig it. Okay. Oh, the washer hose broke. So basically, I'm just looking, inspecting. I wanted to see was the strut mounts broken. Bolts broken, rather. They look fairly intact. So without, I don't know, man. Y'all know how we are here at this place. They're very skeptical about working on old cars with high miles. So I already know my estimate gonna be re-estimated by the manager. Normally, typically they'll look over our estimates and then add their own. So we'll see, guys.